So hey, it's Camo from Nashville Access. We've got a great show for you this time out. We're here at Solis North Gulch Apartment, where taste matters. See, when I do things out of order, I just trip over everything. I have to stick with what I've got. We've got a great guest for you today. Her name is Kendal Conrad, and she's from Pennsylvania. Easily transfixed into Transylvania, but we won't go there. Come on in. Come here. Didn't you get the memo?
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm glad you're here with your sparkly corral boots.
I know. It's my favorite pair.
Slide over a bit here so we're not too far away. The camera is not wide.
Oh, okay.
So before the show, we were talking about hair and how you can get one just kind of out of place. You know it's out of place. Nobody else does, but it makes you crazy.
Yep. Like right now, I hope I'm like freaking out now. I'm like, oh, this angle, I don't know what's happening.
No, it's on
usually,
the other side.
oh no. usually my
it
mom comes to these things with me.
Right.
But obviously she's back home in Pennsylvania. But she'll like come up behind me and like fix something or just like poke at me and be like, "You're cool. It's good. I got it."
I won't talk about the gray hair thing.
I mean, it's. All right, so like a year ago, I told you earlier, like a year ago,
Yes.
there's apparently this like hair length long gray hair growing out of my head. I don't know how it got this long, and my mom doesn't say anything. She's like, don't move. And I'm thinking there's a bug, and she like plucks it out and shows me it's this long gray hair. It's like, oh my god, I can't afford to color my hair right now.
I don't think you have to worry for a while.
I don't know. Who knows? Don't they say it can happen like overnight?
Yeah, but I think that's
Is that
like
a myth?
No, it can happen, but it's very, very
I'm a
rare.
very stressed out person. It could happen.
Yeah, you look like you're just totally stressed out.
I am inner turmoil.
Inner turmoil.
Yeah,
but
beneath the surface.
sofa cool.
That's what. See.
There you go.
Yeah, like if everything's like, I feel like I have everything together, everything's like matching and in its place, and that makes me feel better, and it kind of squashes the
feel
inner
better,
stress.
and everything is right for you, then it's cool because people out there may not notice if you're watching. I won't even tell you what's wrong with me.
So many.
I like you.
No.
But they don't know what's wrong. But you know, and it's just not right, and it'll just eat in your head.
Yeah, I mean, it's, we talked about this earlier,
Yeah.
like it's just you know, and you feel like you're not up to par, there's something wrong, but no one else knows or cares.
Yeah.
And so like I just put so much pressure on myself, like unnecessary stress, and I just have to stop. My mom keeps saying it'll get better once I get older. I don't know how much older I need to be for it to stop, but
There comes a point in your age where you stop caring about stuff, but personal grooming is just an entirely different matter.
I'm just gonna be this way forever.
So, are you just in Nashville temporarily, or are you back and forth?
I'm back and forth. So what I do is I'm here weekdays,
Okay.
like Monday through Wednesday or Thursday.
So this is your job during the week.
Right. Yeah.
And you're
then
back home to sleep.
well, and so I'll fly home and then I'll play a gig Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and then like a winery or something on Sunday. And then Sunday night, or Monday morning, depending upon the price of the flight, I'll fly back to Nashville. And so I've been doing that for like almost 4 years.
Really?
Yep.
You just
Same.
can't make that full commitment to just stay here on weekends.
I don't know how to make money down here.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
I know how to make money back home. I mean, I have all my own equipment, all my own stuff, solo acoustic, I keep all the money.
But in Nashville, you end up playing a lot of honky tonks, which is, during the summer when there's a lot of tourists, that can be really good money.
Oh, yeah.
But you're not getting to do as much of your own stuff. You end up doing covers.
Well, I do that. I do like 3 hours of covers
Right.
back home, and I'll throw in some original stuff. Especially when people who are like my friends come to hear me, and they know my songs and they want to hear them. But like down here, I don't like that 4 hours no breaks thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they do that. It hurts just thinking about it.
Yeah, it can be pretty grueling.
Yeah, especially like singing with a band, like the loudness and See,
trying to compete with the music coming from the levels upstairs.
So you gotta sing, yeah. So like solo acoustic, like I can just be, if my throat's feeling weird, I can just do like real low key songs and.
Yeah, you can't do low key stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
No, they want to drink and have fun.
Yeah, and like, of course. So I mean, obviously. So I just feel like I wouldn't be cut out for that.
So, what led you from the beautiful state of Pennsylvania, the Keystone State?
There you go.
Yeah.
You know more than me.
I don't know what it means. It's just the Keystone State.
I know we have a lot of coal, I think, or steel, something.
Yeah.
Steel, maybe.
We used to have a ton of steel.
I can edit that out.
We don't edit it. Take it as it comes.
Oh man.
So what led you from there down to the volunteer state?
I think like people kept telling me like you should move down there and blah blah blah. I'm like yeah whatever, I don't need to. And then I took some meetings and things down here with some managers, and I forget who exactly it was, but they like scared me. They were like, you're wasting time by like just piddling up there. They're like, you need to be down here in this community of people.
To a certain extent, that's true. I don't know if wasting time would have been the words I used.
Well, they said wasting time for me wanting to have a career as a country music artist. They're like, you're wasting time just staying in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
They're like with what you're telling me that you want to do, which is like be Tim McGraw. They're like, it's not going to happen.
You want to be Tim McGraw?
I do.
You need to work out more.
I walk.
Is that where you see yourself? Is that upper echelon, big name charting artist?
Yeah, I mean that's
not
always.
Not so much Tim McGraw, but maybe Faith Hill.
Yes. Yeah. I mean that's always where I wanted to be, and it doesn't have to be like for me. It was never like fame and money was never like the end game for me. Mm-hmm. Like I've never cared about that. You're
in the right business for that.
if I don't get there through music, then I don't want it, kind of thing. Right. Like I only want it if it's I make it there because I'm a singer.
So yeah, if you're making great music and you're having fun and living a comfortable life, then fame, fortune,
all of that stuff would mean that I made it with my music.
Right.
Like that would be like great.
So many people come to town wanting that fame and fortune, and they don't care what they have to do to get it.
Right.
So they'll sacrifice every ounce of integrity they have to get that.
Right. But see, like, does it work though?
Well, we can make some calls.
Like I often wonder, like I'm like, well, people talk about selling your soul, and it's like, well, what's the success rate?
Well, I mean, I think probably to an extent pretty good, because if a label comes along and waves all the big stuff in front of you, the first thing I always notice, especially with women, is take Trisha Yearwood when she started out. Big curly hair. It looked great.
See, that's what I tried to do.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Well, this close.
Yeah.
But then, the label takes over and image consultants come in. Well, we think you'd be better with straight hair. And so that's the first thing I always notice with artists. Curly hair and kind of cool, rough around the edges, and then you get into the label machine and it's straight hair and you just act differently.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
don't know if that's selling your soul. It just, I guess, depends on how much
branding.
Curly hair means.
That's so strange though, because I would think like rough around the edges, like country music is like curly hair.
Yeah.
Not like straight toned back kind of.
Well, big hair is country music.
Right.
Big.
Yeah.
Your hair isn't big enough. You need that big flip.
I know.
It's about 3 feet tall.
I need a stylist now.
Are you going to sit and stew on that for the rest of the show?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's funky.
That my hair doesn't flip the right way.
Do you think what you're doing so far is getting those steps to becoming?
I hope so. I mean, I hope I'm doing it right. I'm not really sure what that even means, but I mean, it feels right to me. So
That's all that counts.
yeah, and I mean, I've been able to like travel and like meet people and like do what I want to do up until this point.
Right.
I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not unhappy, if that makes any sense.
It
So
does.
it's like, I mean, it's worked up to this point. So
Well, your latest video, that debuted on Taste of Country, that's kind of a big deal.
wait, no,
No, that's
That's
not you. That's the guest I was supposed
I was
to.
interested in what video. I was like, what?
I'm trying to remember what I wrote, and it's like, oh no, that's not you. Never mind. But there could be a day where your video does.
I would
debut.
love that. Well, if you're interviewing guests with that, hook me up.
This is the first time I've ever screwed up that badly.
No, I
think
sang
it was-
I sang with Keith Urban. That video got
That's cool.
yeah.
It's that hair that's out of place that threw me.
Oh, I'm gonna get up and leave.
It wouldn't be the first time.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I sang with
So
Keith
you
Urban.
can't sing with
That
Keith
video has like 35,000 views on it.
That's pretty
So
cool.
that was not on Taste of Country,
No.
but
Taste of Country, if you're watching this, because I'm going to tag you.
oh, thank you.
then
Yeah,
You need to pay
it
attention.
should
to
be
that.
on there.
That's right. Taste of Country needs to have your next video
Yes.
up.
Yeah, but no, that video did pretty well, and that was super cool. But I don't have a ton of professionally done music videos yet,
Right.
just because I've waited so long to put out actual like recorded music that I
Yeah.
like. So that's always come first, and it's taken me forever.
And that can be
Yeah.
expensive. I mean, back in the 90s when, they were cranking out videos, and part of the reason it stopped was labels were looking at it and saying, look, it cost us $300,000 to create this album, and a video for a single song is going to cost me $500,000. So they couldn't justify the crazy expense of it.
I mean, you can do it cheap, but it depends on like what you want to do.
Mm.
Like I have some great ideas, and it's like that's going to cost me a fortune. It's cool, but I don't know how cheaply I can do it, if that is a word. Cheaply, if not, I just made that up. How cheaply I can do this video with like I have a song called Leader of the Pack that's on the EP. It's not out yet.
Right.
But like I wanted to do a whole thing with the video with like claw marks like on me,
Right.
like that looks like I was like thrown to the wolves and
Oh, that's-
came back the leader of the pack, and I wanted to like go to a wolf preserve and like sit with wolves and get like actual wolf shots and things, and I'm like, this is gonna cost me a fortune. Like I wanted to be walking wolves on like leashes like down the street.
I
like,
did that. I did that.
No, you did
I
not.
did do that in England.
Was it cheap?
Well, it's the thing. I didn't get to sit with them, but and I think other places do it. But in England, they have a wolf preservation thing, and so you get to go out in the forest and walk with a wolf.
Really?
The lead was a chain, so it's a big, heavy chain.
That is
But-
so cool.
So cool because when they tell you when you're starting, they get everybody lined up like you're going to be the breakfast, like a buffet for the wolf. But they line you up and they say, make sure you don't have any sweets or any food in your pockets because the wolf will find them and take them, including your pockets. So you get rid of anything.
Yeah, I bet.
But you put your hand out, the wolf sniffs you, and it's the wildest thing.
That's so cool. Did you do it with someone or did you go by yourself?
No, I did it with people.
Okay.
A group of people.
Okay.
Yeah. So and you're walking in the woods, but it's the coolest thing because when a wolf is doing that, it's sizing up everything about you. It knows your weaknesses, your sicknesses. It knows everything.
That's so cool.
It's like that.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's pretty cool. It's intimidating. But
Yeah.
It's really neat. Yeah.
See, I want to be the leader of the pack.
There you go. So you've got an EP. Tell us more about the EP.
It's not out yet. Releasing the first single this Friday.
That's what I was trying to remember. Was you're releasing a single Friday?
Yes, it's called "Come to Your Senses." It's the first song off of the EP.
By the time you're watching this, the single's probably out.
It'll be out, so go check it out and listen to it again over and over. But no, this is the first song off the EP, and it's kind of like I wanted to do this crazy mix of like hip hop beats with like we have like steel solos and like crazy fiddle lines, and like I wanted 808s and like real heavy like bass then too. And it's a weird combination, but it's like what I had seen and heard and envisioned in my mind, and it came out like exactly the way that I wanted it to be, which was great. So this song is the first sound of that, and so it's like I don't think we used any real drums in it in the whole track. Yeah. And I know
the drummers union will be pleased to hear that. Yeah. How many drummers does it take to screw in a light bulb? None. They have a machine for that.
That's funny, but it's also true.
I know. You want to do a song?
I can do a song.
Cool.
I'm not sure if I should do the single first, or if I should do. Actually, I'll do one that I didn't talk about.
All right, let's do that.
Cool.
Oh, that's a pretty guitar.
Thank you. Martin makes a great instrument. There's a plug for them.
Yeah. Hello, Martin Guitars.
Hello, Martin. Okay. This is called Better On.
Okay.
And I wrote it with Aaron Schertz, the big girl in a country song. But you know when like people say, like, oh, you're better off without them. Like you're better off. And like, what does that mean? Better off what? Like, I don't better off without them. It's like, well, I don't understand what that means versus like what? You're better on? And so I was like, better not.
That could go down an entirely different trail.
Yeah. Maybe it's the song. Boy, we called it quits the last time, and here I am again. I can't say why. I'm knocking on your door like every time before, knowing that we're better off, better off. All my friends say that you're no good. You never love me like you should. Girl, you dodged a bullet, you know he was never worth it. Yeah, you're better off, better off. I got it through my head, but my heart just can't forget. We were better on a high night or in wine. Boy, I could use a drink. Better on a king-sized all night. Put your hands all over me. Better on a makeup. Yes, it's why we break up, knowing that the over don't ever last long. Good on the covers are bad for each other. Boy, we should just move on. We'd be better off if we weren't better on, better on, better on, better on. Are you gonna ask me inside? So make me stand here all night. Everything I got on my chest, your favorite dress and thing. It's better off, better off. We were better on a high night of red wine. Boy, I could use a drink. Better on a king size all night. Put your hands all over me. Better on a makeup. Yes, it's why we break up, knowing that the over don't ever last long. Good undercovers and bad for each other. Boy, we should just move on. We'd be better off if we weren't better on, better on, better on, better on. Better on a slow groove to some old school, back and forth till the sun shines in. Better on a rebound, maybe we can burn it down till we burn out again. But we were better on a hot night of red wine. Boy, I could use a drink. Better on a king size all night. Put your hands all over me. Better on a makeup. Yes, it's why we break up, knowing that the overs don't ever last long. Good on the covers above for each other. Boy, we should just move on. We'd be better off if we weren't better on, better on, better on, better on. If we weren't better on.
That's cool.
Thank
Kendal
you.
Conrad. That's on the new EP?
Yeah,
Excellent.
it's not out yet, but
Yeah.
it's like, it's super, I wanted that one to be super vibey. Like I sent, Matt McVaney produced the whole EP, and he wanted me, because of this weird sound that I had envisioned, he was like, I kind of know what you're talking about, not really. And he's like, can you send me some things that you like sonically, that you kind of want it to feel like? So I sent him like, I think I sent him like Brandy and like Whitney Houston, and I sent him some like 90s R&B songs. And then I sent him like, I think I sent him like Dixie Chicks and the band Perry. And I was like, I want this and I want that together. And so like there's a really cool fiddle line in there. My friend Eamon played, and it's like really like sexy and like really like bumps. So yeah.
Do you, because you spend weekends at home, do your parents ever listen to the lyrics and go, oh my God, where did she learn this?
Well, I mean, that's funny. They know me pretty well. And so, like, that one is a story.
Yeah.
Like, that one is, like, this story. I wanted this, like, this story of these two people that, like, they keep breaking up because, like, they don't, like, work. But for some reason, like, physically or, like, passionately, they just, like, click really well. Like, they're really good together. And so they just keep getting pulled back together, you know, whether they like it or not. There's this, like, magnetic thing. And so I wanted to write this story, and when I went in to write it with Aaron, like we were like throwing out like innuendo lines for that chorus, but then we were like, well, where are they? And I'm like, I think the whole song is taking place at the front door.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I think there's a line in there, it's like, are you gonna let me in, or are we just gonna stand here? That's where I see it.
Yeah.
Like they're at the front door, and they're like talking, or they have a moment.
Yeah,
And
we'll just stick with that story.
Yeah.
Wink,
See,
wink.
now that would be a really cheap video to shoot, because you just need a door, and you can just stand in front of the door.
But like I also then like went like clips of like times when they were together, like sitting in front of a fireplace with like wine or something, like something really like she's in like his plaid shirt, or like I don't know, like I have, and obviously it's raining because it's always raining in these kind of things.
Yeah, you have a really strong visual sense of what you want your music to accomplish.
Right.
Where does that come from? Because you're thinking very, very visually. It's almost like you're seeing it in your head and writing what you see.
Yeah, and like the music will feel like that moment. Yeah. I don't know. I like watching movies a lot. So maybe it's because I'm like watching these like big moments on like screen, and like if I hear and see everything like musically, so I'm like, what does that feel like to me? It feels like, you know, a banjo, or like, I don't know, maybe it's that. I don't know. I'm also a theater major. I was a theater major, so I'm an actor too. So I just like that whole story.
You don't have
I like
enough
stories.
being screwed up as an artist. You have to have the actor to be really screwed up.
I paid for a theater degree. It's really useful. That's my plan B. I can use my theater degree and
there you go.
make the big bucks. No, I mean, I just like stories, and I feel like that song in particular tells a really interesting story. You know, like Come to Your Senses, the single is a great story too. So, I mean,
Well, tell us the story of that one.
So that one is that's based on personal experience. In fact, not like this one, which is I had this storyline
Totally
in my mind.
imagination.
Yeah. So I've just been frustrated with dating, the whole process, the whole thing. I don't understand how it works.
You're not the only one.
I think
People are always.
I'm not good at it. I don't get how it works. I don't understand the whole, like, you're flirting, where now what? I'm supposed to be cute. I don't get it. Like, how do you get the guy to come to his senses and come over?
Right.
And so, like, I wrote a whole song about it. And it's basically like, usually like he's all the way across the room, he's over there, I'm over here. And it's like, kind of look up, and it's like, you know, you smile, or like he walks past, go to the bathroom or something, kind of like glance, and then
Just
nothing,
a tip,
nothing happens.
if they're walking past, go to the bathroom, don't sing, I know where you're going, because that's kind of.
Is that from personal experience?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
No, but so I mean, and it never progresses from there. And so I wrote a song, and it's like, come to your senses, and in the chorus, it's all the five senses. So it's like, hear me do this, and see me do this, and like, whatever the other three of them are, they're in there. I promise you they're in there. Like, touch, sight, smell, like they're all in there. And it's like, literally, come to your senses. Instead of the usual, which is like, you're going crazy, like, wake up. And so my mom came up with that.
Oh, cool, thanks, Mom.
Yeah, I thought it was super cool. Like that, she's like, literally, what if you literally wrote a song, come to your senses, instead of like using it as the idiom? And I was like, I've never heard that before.
You're the first person that I've ever interviewed that has used the word idiom correctly in a sentence.
Do people use it wrongly?
They just never use it.
Okay. So I'm the first one to use it.
Idiot, they use it. It's usually about.
No.
We'll get you to do the song in a second, but the one thing I also wanted to talk about was you talked about how your sonic selections that you want your music to all bring all these things together, and that seems to be kind of a theme with you, because again, before the show you were talking about your boots and how you wanted this country but urban look.
Yeah.
And that seems to be what you're trying to do sonically as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love like when Taylor Swift comes out with an era.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole era is very like cohesive with branding and like reputation, and she was wearing all dark clothes, and like the whole thing it fits like the whole theme. The whole theme of what she's trying to do, and it will change with each album, and I think Madonna and like a couple other women like do that. Like it all kind of encapsulates the same vibe, and then once they're done with that, then they'll move on to the next one. Now it's bright, like pop, and now all the dark stuff is gone, and now it's all like pastels and neon. So with this one, I wanted the whole theme to be this urban, because I am from a Philadelphia suburb.
Yeah.
So I wanted it to be this urban country thing that I feel like I am anyway. So like you said earlier, I wanted to wear like, hoodie, cowboy boots, like just weird mixing of styles. So I feel like it works maybe.
Musically, it's kind of cool too, because you were talking about, fiddle runs and steel guitars in a song that doesn't have any drums, it's all loops and everything. That sounds somewhat like is on radio, but it still sounds like it's ahead of the curve a bit. And that's kind of the name of the game. If you're out doing what everybody else is doing now, you're behind the eight ball. You've got to be thinking ahead of the curve and what is the next sound going to be like.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Hunt started doing that. Florida Georgia Line is starting to do that. Maren Morris is doing that. They're bringing in a lot of different.
Maren especially is really going to that, reaching out to that pop side of things.
Although I do think she's very soulful.
Yeah.
Like she has a lot of soul and blues in her stuff, which I don't think mine has. I think mine is more of a pop R&B. You'll have to. I'll let you listen to it later. You tell me what you feel. If I hit the nail on the head or not. But no, I think hers is very like when she sang with Alicia Keys, and like it's very soulful. And so I think I'm a little less soul, more pop R&B. Yeah.
Less soul, more full.
Just more full.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a like, and when I listen to her and then I listen to mine, it's a little bit.
You don't want to be doing the same thing.
Right, but like people like her who are kind of pushing boundaries and experimenting and having it work.
Yeah.
It's like I'm watching it and like it's only helping me.
Yeah.
Because the more women, especially that do it, will it'll make it easier for other people coming up, and they know that they're.
Do you think it's harder for women though, because it seems like guys can get a style and stick with it. Trucker's hat, flannel shirt, Wranglers, boom, done. And that's what you see all the time. But somebody like Maren Morris is always trying to be more cutting edge, more ahead of not doing what she did yesterday. Do you think that's a harder on a woman to keep that?
I mean, like when you like lay it out like that, I mean, obviously, because like women, like we're like not all the time, because like you know, guys have worn, I think John Party wore like a sequin blazer
Yeah.
or something. Like, the guys do like dress interesting sometimes, but I feel like with women, it's like, we're so like fashion, even if you're not fashion based, it's like picking colors and shoes and makeup and eyeshadow and what color and like doing your hair. What hairstyle? Do I want bangs? Like, do I want to wear hat? Like, so I just think there's more options just physically for women.
Yeah. So it's not so much a pressure, it's just we have more, you have more options.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But
Because
I
I
mean,
would look silly wearing sparkly boots and a
Guys-
hoodie with holes in
I mean, maybe. You should try it.
it.
You should give it a try, see what you think.
Yeah. No.
You might, next time I see you, you might have copied me.
Oh man.
Be like, you can't do that. That's my
That's
thing.
my
That's
thing.
my thing.
Okay, we talked about the new single. You want to
Yeah.
do it for us?
Sure.
Sweet.
Alright. I hope I picked the right way. Wake up, been waiting all night for you to let up, quit playing games, it's your move, pretend your bottle, go full throttle, walk up to me, boy, get out of your head, get in mine instead, this might sound crazy, boy. Smell the potential of the night and just come over here. Me, whisper in your ear and pull you closer. Feel my breath on your neck, taste my lips. Oh, I wish you could see where this could go. 'Cause I know it could jog your defenses. You'll come to your senses. Come to your senses. You act cool with all of your friends, but you can't fool me into thinking that you don't wanna get out, even an hour, drive off and ditch this crowd. Get out of your head, get in mine instead. Tell me, how does that sound? Smell the potential of the night and just come over here. Me, whisper in your ear and pull you closer. Feel my breath on your neck, taste my lips. Oh, I wish you could see where this could go. 'Cause I know it could jog your defenses. You'll come to your senses. Come to your senses. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. Smell the potential of the night and just come over here. Me, whisper in your ear and pull you closer. Feel my breath on your neck, taste my lips. Oh, I wish you could see where this could go. 'Cause I know it could jog your defenses. You'll come to your senses. Come to your senses. You'll come to.
Cool song. That's
Thank
really nice.
you.
Her name is Kendal Conrad, and that song, Come to Your Senses, it comes out Friday, but when you're watching this, we'll say it came out on June 28th. Yeah, so
Yep.
go and get it, and the EP, if it's not out now, it will be soon.
Yeah, hopefully, definitely. Yeah.
Boy, it's great having you on the show. You can come back and goof around anytime you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just come and be a smartass.
Yeah, cool. Well, we have good rapport.
Good smartass.
This is also my problem with guys too. With me
Right.
dating, guys, they don't get my sense of humor. I think. Like I'll say something like sarcastic, and they're
Wait.
kind of like, "Are
Wait.
you making fun of me?" And I'm like, "No."
You have a sense of humor?
I guess I'm not supposed to. They don't get it. They're confused.
No, seriously, come
No.
back and goof around.
Yeah. No, I
it'd
would
be
love
fun.
that. Yeah. Maybe when something else if this does well and I drop the next one.
And CMT actually shows your video.
Yeah. Taste of Country, then we can talk about it.
See, I've even screwed up a video.
Self-fulfilling prophecy, that would be nice.
But please check her out. She's a cool person, and her music's even cooler.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's a blast.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Thank you.
We'll say goodbye now.
Bye.
Make sure you watch me, or not watch me. Make sure you listen to me every Saturday. You've thrown me.
Sorry.
Listen to me every Saturday on Hippie Radio 94.5 here in Nashville, 3 to 7 p.m. Every Sunday on Chris Country across the UK, and every Thursday morning on Tamworth 88.9 Radio with Jody Crosby and John Wolf. See ya.